Well, this is certainly something different. It's the debut of AFLX from Hindmarsh Stadium in Adelaide as the Crows beat Geelong by 8 points in the grand final. So much to talk about as we welcome you to our recap of Tournament 1. Ashley Brown is with me. Ash, your first impressions?
Well, it was a very intense 3.5 hours, a lot of footy played. It is a game for players who can run, who are very fit at this time of year, and as we thought, Maddie, not a lot of tackling.
All right, a few key moments to talk about. Let's begin with the grand final, starting with a Zupa goal from Kirtley Hampton. It was a pretty impressive moment, this one, as we see him receive the ball from his teammate, load up and go bang to put the Crows well in front of a nice celebration there as well. Now, what about this man? A new star is born, Harry Deer.
Well, Harry Deer, Maddie, plays well in grand finals if your name's Deer. His father, Paul, won the 1991 North Smith medal playing for Hawthorn, and Harry, who's been at the Crows now for 4 years, put his hand up at a really important time with a big second half in this grand final. Adelaide might be without Taylor Walker in round one, so great time for Harry Deer to put his name up in lights.
Yeah, great movement there from Harry Deer. And we also saw a veteran of the Cats, Tom Hawkins, with this brilliant goal in the second half from a long, long way out. Here he goes. Bang.
He can be a beautiful set shot for goal, Tom Hawkins, as well, and that sort of kept the Cats in the game when it was got a bit tight at one stage.
And in the end, the Crows too good. Let's hear from the man of the moment for the Crows, Harry Deer.
Yeah, at the start I was intrigued to get a grip of it, but as the game through on, you sort of got a feel for it, and it was a good game. It's really exciting, very, very fast pace. It was nice.
Harry Deer there with Limo. It wasn't all that physical, but there were a few moments, Ash, during the night where we just saw how physicality could be used to influence play.
Yeah, and if you got caught with the ball and there was a turnover, teams could get you on the fast break because then you've got fast players playing. So it was really important to try and keep possession of the ball. But yeah, we did see some good early season tackling, just not a lot of it.
The other interesting thing about this format is the rule when you run too far, and we saw it a couple of times during the night, didn't we?
Well, players are drilled, aren't they, for 15 metres, but in this game, it's in AFLX, it's 10 metres you've got to bounce the ball, and players were caught out. This one came at a tight stage of the second half. It could have been costly.
Now, this is something I really like. The 11-point play from Ben Davis. Look at this.
Jackson Nelson takes the ball through for a behind. I mean, they've cracked down that in the AFL now, but it really serious consequences in AFLX, Matty, because the penalty for that is you concede the behind, then the ball goes back to the opposing player who gets a shot for goal for 10 points, 40 metres out straight in front. That should be bread and butter for most league footballers these days. And Ben Davis kicks the goal. There you have it, footy's first 11-point play.
Yeah, I love the way we saw Jackson just pass the silver footy back. He wasn't all that happy with that, was he?
Yeah.
But Ben Davis nails the 11-point play. Now, no injuries that we know of out of tonight. That is a pretty good story.
Well, it's a selling point as well, Matty. I think if anything made footy fans dubious about AFLX, it was the prospect of losing players to injuries. Look, we're one night into a 3-day tournament, still got 12 teams to play, but so far so good. No injuries out of tonight's play.
All right, let's go club by club now and pick out some highlights for you. Geelong beginning with Mark Blitzarves.
Well, he should be a natural at this sort of game. He's so athletic. He's arguably the most athletic player in the competition. Here we have a long Zupa goal. He looked in really good nick. Dodgy haircut, but apart from that, a really promising opening to the season for him.
Yeah, still peroxide apparently from Wacky Wednesday, would you believe? And Tim Kelly we see in the play here as well. He was impressive too tonight, wasn't he?
Geelong have a great track record with mature age recruit out of WA as well. This guy, he was runner-up in the Sandover medal last year, which is a pretty good form guide. He looks like base, and you look at him there, he's got the physique. He could play round one. He looks ready.
A bit of Matthew Lloyd about him too, with the grass in the air as he shoots from long range. Well, let's go to the Crows now and talk about the former cricketer Alex Keith, who was impressive tonight.
Alex Keith, a great story. Came back to footy last year after several years playing cricket. Played a lot of senior footy for Adelaide last year and only got dropped just before the finals. He's put his hand up tonight for some good performance.
Yeah, absolutely. In his first game in particular, we see a conventional goal there, and then there's another one coming up as we watch this piece of play.
There wasn't a whole lot of traditional sort of lead mark and goal in the games we saw tonight, but that was one episode of it where he kicked the traditional goal. As I said, he's a beautiful left foot kick too. He kicks the ball so well. So he'd be thrilled with his form tonight. It's middle of February, but he's in good touch.
Jake Kelly was the other player who was pretty impressive tonight, as we see Harry Deer pop up again there, but the ball is coming to the hands of Kelly. Watch this as he goes for the long-range Zupa, lines up and kicks the goal.
Now, you're a basketball man, Matty. There's a bit of that in the games tonight where players will take a mark inside 40, then go outside the key to a player to have the long shot and to get the 10-point goal, and that was a good example of that.
Yeah, and another one here. It did feel a bit like that, didn't it, at times? There was a bit of basketball about this game. All right, let's switch to Freo now and have a chat about this man, Stefan Giro, who made a bit of an impact tonight.
Well, Freo took a very young squad into the first game. They totally turned the team over for the second game, but Giro was impressive in the early game against Geelong. Did some nice things, and look, he's not going to play around or anything like that, but Ross Lyon was really thrilled with the application of the young players in the first game. Giro was an example of that.
Yeah, and that was impressive there, how he came back into the play after laying the tackle and then got the ball and kicked the goal. Andrew Brayshaw was a player that I think a lot of Freo fans were wanting to keep an eye on tonight.
Number 2 pick in the NAB AFL draft last year. Again, did a couple of nice things that showed that he could well be ready to play round one. Just looks a natural footballer from a great football family.
And there was this other moment tonight as well where we saw Michael Walters go to Brad Hill with the footy. That was a pretty impressive moment.
This might have been my favourite piece of play for the night. I think it sums up what AFLX is. I think when Bradley Hill, working hard, gets the ball to Walters. Hill, we know, is a supreme athlete, kept on running, gets the ball back from Walters and kicks a goal. To me, that is great AFLX footy, if we can say such a thing, Matty.
And let's hear from Brad Hill.
Hilly, this game's built for you.
Yeah, it's actually all right. To be honest, I was struggling a fair bit myself, but I reckon everyone else is struggling just as bad, if not more. And I got onto a few easy goals, which is good.
Brad Hill there with Limo to Port Adelaide now, and all eyes tonight on Jack Watts, who in the end was the skipper because Robbie Gray was a late withdrawal.
Yeah, Jack Watts will be pleased, I think, with his first outing. I mean, a little bit of extra pressure as well, I guess, being named captain of a very famous footy club for his first game in the, not quite familiar grey, Matty, but a good first up outing. He should also be suited to sort of AFLX top footy because he's a pretty good athlete and he's a good runner.
Willie Rioli tonight for the West Coast Eagles. Again, a big famous name that a lot of Eagles fans were waiting to see. Our
colleague and friend Travis King has been talking about Willie Rioli for 12 months. To get excited by him, he slashed a hammy last year, couldn't really play, but he showed a bit of excitement this year. All the West Coast will be talking about Willie Rioli. He's going to be very dangerous around forward, and he'll play round one. And we were also impressed with Jack Petrocelli. Yeah, he didn't play in League AFL footy last year, but he showed a bit of pace at one stage with this sort of dash through the midfield, taking his opponent on, running through the midfield and kicking a really nice, steady goal from just inside 40. And he stands out a bit too, which is a good thing. Let's turn to Collingwood now, and this was a really interesting moment tonight, Ash. James Aish with the footy. Well, when you've got 10 minutes a half and no time on, any opportunity to milk a few seconds you take, and here he is with the Joe the Goose goal by letting 5 seconds on off the clock while kicking the goal. Smart play by a player who needs a very big season. Now, the AFL frowns upon that, doesn't it, in the regular season? I don't think there'll be any memos going Collingwood's way after this performance. Yeah, no, you can't do that in the regular season. Want to have a look at this Braden Maynard Zupa goal as well, because this was pretty good from a long way out. Look at him go. That is low a great in the goal. Air, but that's a cracking goal. That's a great goal at any time and any standard. It wouldn't have been, it was inside 50 in the regular season, but it's a nice goal under pressure. And we also caught a glimpse there of the goalpost sliding up as well, which is another feature of AFLX. A final summation of the evening, Ash. Where do you think we're going to go with this format? We've got 2 more nights of this trial to go. Well, we'll let the next 2 nights play out. I can see us going down the path, say like the Rugby Sevens, where AFL teams will have their AFL squads. They might have specialised AFLX players who will play different tournaments in different areas. With the Wallabies rugby union team, none of them play none of them play sevens. Sevens is for specialist sort of rugby players. I can see that being down the path for AFLX, an international game, a game of weekend tournaments, and Collingwood may have its AFL team and its AFLX team. Or could we have franchises like Big Bash style, where you actually see players from different teams coming together to form specialised AFLX teams? Absolutely. I'm looking at a few mates of mine, and we could start a Caulfield team. We'll just buy great players and we'll send them around the world to play. Yeah, that could be the way to go as well. Ash, thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us as well. It was Adelaide victorious on the opening night of AFLX.